welcome to Adelshoven. We're in February. As I suggested, we skipped through January, just sold off a little bit of produce to keep us in the positives with what we had. Just looking at our pigs here and their food from the 2,000 litres of food we had the other day. We're in our third month and they're down to 500. So they're chomping away, but they're in good shape. I think if we look at the general situation, I'd like to put another 6 in there if we can. But we're up to 24, so we've got some at 1 month, the 9 months, 2 months, and 3 months. And if we bought some more today, if we get to that financial position, we'll get some 4-month-old, and you'll also see that first lot that we bought will have piglets next month. So this, with any luck, will be the last month that we would buy more, but a little extra food will help. So before we do anything, we might take care of that. We've also got, I see, a pallet of wool to move there out of the spawn point. So there we go. We've got 3 pallets of the pig food. So one of the interesting things is it's producing at the moment fast enough for us. So I certainly see no need to turn on the dedicated pig food production. What I did do in January was turn on both the French fry production. So the neat thing about that production is that it will do French fries and premium potatoes, all of it's produced in parallel. So that'll just kick up our production just a little. And this should load straight in here. It does. I'm going to get one more. You can see over there we've got 7 pallets of sunflower oil, so that's coming along nicely as well. Yeah, so in terms of January, apart from moving the produce around, I bought the 6 extra pigs, turned on the French fries, and used the liquid fertilizer that we'd picked up to complete fertilizing of our grass field. So, and topped up the water for the sheep. So apart from that, there was not much to do, and so I skipped forward to this month. Let's just get this wool out of the way here. We have had some more lambs. Production continues to kick up there a little bit. Now, the other thing that I've done this morning is picked up a contract. So there was a contract on the board for field 7, which you can see on the HUD at the top there. And that's a sowing contract, which we haven't seen many of. So we grabbed that one. 9,500. We took the equipment that came with it because we didn't have it. It's actually to plant cotton. So the only challenge we've got with this one is our cash is down at 500. We've only got 461 litres of seeds, and I'm guessing we'll need about 2,000. So that's going to be the best part of $2,000 required. Our choices, if we have a look at our current holdings, we do have a little bit of silage left. And so my suggestion is, or my recommendation is going to be that we sell the silage that's there, and that'll give us enough money to buy seed to do the contract. I'd like to hold the sunflower oil until next month if we can. Let's just have a look at sunflower oil. Although it is getting pretty close to its... Oops, there's sunflowers. So the sunflowers are actually in pretty good shape. So potentially we might 21.53 up at the land handle. So maybe we should sell the sunflowers as well while we're here. That might be a good move. But let's get rid of the silage first. We'll grab some silage out of there. That'll pretty much finish that off. The 7 pallets of sunflowers will be a nice addition along with this contract. It might almost be enough to buy the extra field that we're hoping to put the potatoes into. I'm certainly hoping that we'll get some more contracts next month, so that'll be good. So that's enough cash to buy the seed. I think what we'll do is go and get this sowing contract sorted out, and we can leave our trailer over here out of the way for the minute. Because we hired the equipment at the shop. We'll purchase some 2 bags of seeds. So we'll buy those. And let's go and see what equipment we've got. So here we go. Looks like we picked up a pretty handy little Kubota M8. So that'll be a nice tool to give a drive. So back here, let's stick our how much of this seed will fit in that? We want cotton, so that's only 400 litres in there. So we'll need to come down here with a ute anyway. But we know the planting is for cotton. Let's head up to field 7 and get this sorted underway. We're arriving at field 7. It's the one on the left there heading up the hill, the sort of inverted L shape that we harvested last year, so we know it fairly well. What I'm thinking here is if we put a headland on it, we can get a worker here. Let's put down the feeder. That should do the job. Yeah, if we put a headland on it, that will just simplify running a worker. We could use a course play, but I think with a headland, just the standard AI will do just fine, and we want to keep the AI usage to a minimum just because we want to try and maximize our cash. So really the only purpose of putting the AI in charge here will be to make sure that we've got a few minutes to go and load up our ute with the sunflowers so we can take them up for sale, and also go round and bring the seed up, because as you can see we're looking through the seed here at a reasonable rate. All in all, even though we're going uphill, it's not the fastest job in the world, but downhill should pick up a couple of kilometres an hour. What I did find interesting was I looked in the production and that we've got the potatoes one, and those potatoes that we got off the little field next to our yard where we've since put the pigs are easily going to last the year. And so whilst the plan is to buy field 10, which is at least 50% larger, we're clearly going to have more potatoes than we can process through that production, so it might represent the opportunity to put the other potato production in that I was looking for if we can save enough money. So the basic sequence here is going to be to buy field 10, so buy a new field. Maybe it'll be field 10, but that's the one we're looking at the minute. And then focus on getting we've got the planter for the potatoes, and we need to probably grow a few more in the garden. I don't believe we can take potatoes out of the production, and that will give us what we need to seed it. We have the seeder already, so we don't need the harvest equipment until the middle of the year. So our next priority will be to use the silage that we hope to produce from our grass field to buy yet another field. So and then with that field potentially put a cereal crop of some description in, possibly canola. So we'll just have to see how all that plays out. Coming down here with 175 litres. We are going to empty this on the headland by the looks. Looks like we picked up 2 kilometres an hour heading down the hill, so just a fraction quicker. Let's line you up. We can start you up the hill there and go and get the ute. Let's whip round to the shop. Or the dealer, I should say. There's our man going up the hill there. Hopefully we'll just about get up there before he runs out. Only because he's going slower up the hill. Don't remember if you're capable of picking both of these up. We might just go with one. But safety. Seeing as there's no weight on the back, and it slid down just to be difficult. There we go. Wasn't too bad. And our man on the hill is ready to be refilled. And that will do that. While we're here, we can have a look in the shop just to see if there's anything interesting. Hopefully through the course of this year we'll be able to add to our equipment as we progress. A handy little low loader. And very handy little Massey. But we just don't have the funds for that at this stage. So it's nice to dream. At 100,000 we're not going to come up with all that quickly. Let's just get up and fill this feeder, planter. Just about finished the road. I'll just duck on here and refill you. to head across there and put a second headland on, I think. Oh, while we're turned around, let's just keep going the way we were going. So we've got a quarter of the field done. So that suggests my initial estimate of 2 bags of seed wasn't too far out. We were 22% for the first 400 litres, so about 4.5 tanks or 1,800 litres will take us pretty close, I think. So it's interesting that there's cotton going in here. That might also represent an opportunity for us if we can generate a little bit of extra income from our produce and the like. Maybe our wool, which will be coming up for sale in a couple of months, maybe we could potentially invest in the spinnery and be in a good position to deal with any cotton contracts that come up. We should have a look at what the various farmers about are putting in their fields. If we have let's stick AI on here for a second. But if we have a look at the map, what have we currently? So we're putting cotton in here. It looks like that's wheat. So there's quite a lot of wheat planted already, and there's quite a lot of barley. So with any luck, there'll be a couple of large harvests to do. So being able to collect some equipment that deals with that would be good. Just turn you back on. But also being in a position to take advantage of the contracts and perhaps coordinating the workforce, we might be able to get through a few things. So it could be a busy harvest season coming towards us, because our potatoes won't need harvesting until well after the wheat and the barley are collected. So one of the things that we can do here is take advantage of the GPS. The 9-meter width sounds quite good. Let's enable you. We're going north-south, so let's go A+ heading, and that is going to be 180. And that should why is that on? I'm sure I had that on, but clearly I did not. Let's go with B. Is that a little bit better? That looks like we're planting again. And the speed tends to suggest it's correct. Didn't get my overlap completely correct. Can I move that? I don't remember the keystrokes. Tractor farm. Lines, line offset. Yeah, so the lines aren't quite set. Correct. What are you doing? How have you forgotten? And the width is not correct. So the width should be more like 6 meters, maybe. That's a better width. Very good. With any luck, we'll be at the halfway point at the top of this run. What we might do, we've got about half a tank of seed there, is pop the worker back in the seat, pouring up and down, while we go and load the sunflowers onto the back of the ute. We'll leave the seeds there. We'll leave the seeds there. There on the ute, I mean. And because we'll need to... The best price that we saw before was at the land handel, which is over there in the distance at the other end of this top road. So we've kind of got to come up and pass this way anyway. We'll just see how we go loading everything on. So we've had an extra pallet of sunflowers pop out. Let's just check that contract situation. No, still just the one. Still a little bit early for... I would expect March we might see a few. So we'll pick these sunflower seeds up. Pretty sure we can't that these are quite heavy, these pellets of sunflower oil from memory, so I'm not going to try and pick all 4 up. I think that would end in disaster. What's that? Angle, maybe. Yeah, they feel fairly heavy. Let's just pop those over there. My depth perception is a little better than it was this morning in real life. Yes, I only had one job this morning, and that was to collect my son's truck from the workshop where he was having some fancy off-road stuff fitted to it, and of course I managed to, whilst trying to back it into this place that it usually parks in the rear of our property, which comes out of a rather tight laneway, misjudged the turn, just a dumb mistake, put a sizable dent in the neighbour's roller door, and scratched one of the new pieces of work that he just had done, so don't feel much like a goose, but there you go, that's life. There's no lasting damage to, it's just got a scratch on something that he spent quite a bit of time saving for. And it would have been nice for him the first time he saw it to be pristine. It's only a small scratch. The roller door came off substantially worse. There we go. There's to new whisker. Another 2, that will probably be at about the weight limit, and we need some more feeds up the top. So this will be a nice payday. The ute will probably be a little bit overloaded. You on there. Excellent. And then while we're here, you can see our French fries and premium potatoes have popped out, so we might as well load those into our stall. There we go, 611. It's a bit lopsided, but we'll get the job done. So it looks just a little bit on the lopsided side, and hopefully we'll manage to transport without too much trouble. Very bizarre characteristics of that sunflower oil. And our favourite signpost that pulls over at the first opportunity. So given how unstable this is, we might go straight around to the shop, I think, and sell before we come back and finish the seeding. Let's see what this brings us. That looks a bit healthier. 17,103. And that's better than a poke in the eye. Let's get back to our seeding. Because this contract will put us up very close to what we need for a field. 60%. So if we do 2 more loads of 20, which is about 2 loads of the seeder, we should have this field done. That's that bit there. While we're at the top of the hill, let's feed this other section crossways, because it's pretty flat. We shouldn't need any technical assistance to be able to do a few over and backs here. As we just click over 93%, looks like we've got about up and back probably 3 lengths required to finish here. So 19,000, we'll get another, how much? 9, probably 8 by the time we pay for the borrowing of the equipment. So we've got 27,000. And if we look at the map, field 10, which is really my preference, because we can't afford, I don't know why the field numbers have changed all of a sudden since the last patch, but anyway, they have. there's something odd that's different. So that field there is 70,000, which we can't afford, but this one here is 25. So we will be able to afford this one. The other alternative would have been something like this one, but I think field 10 will suit us better. So that's the plan. And we might, I don't believe there's a crop in it. No, there's nothing in it at the moment. So we'll go ahead and grab it because we would want to prepare it and plant it with potatoes. But here we are coming up to 96% at the end of this run, which is great. Actually, we may just about finish the field on the next downhill. Let's see how we go. Got 97% here. We'll just get it knocked out before the light fades, I think, 4:30 in the afternoon, so can't complain about that. And yes, the farmer will be happy with our job at the bottom of this run, I think. So that's terrific. %, so that'll be the job done. We'll run down because we can empty the seeds out down at our farm where we can put them into the open garden, I think. Rather than get a pallet that we then can't get onto the track, we might just for completeness finish this stripe, but we've done all that's required for the farmer. It's showing 100%. Now that contract has worked out pretty well for us, I think. There's two reasons why I'm keen to buy the field before we finish up this episode. One is there's no crop in it at the moment, and that works to our favour. If it were to be so seeded by the AI farmer before we could buy it tomorrow, that almost certainly wouldn't put the potato crop in it that we're looking for. So that's the first. The second is we'll get about $4,000 worth of leasing costs overnight, and I'll take that out of there so we can then go and finish the contract, which is now complete. So we'll collect that. That's taken us up to 8,300 we brought in. And so if we now go ahead, we don't have enough for field 25 anyway, I don't believe. Yeah, we would be short on that one. So we will take this field here at 24,735. So we'll buy that. And our land holdings expand a fraction further. So if we run up the hill here, that's this field. Where are we? Just at the end behind the dairy. So it's got a few weeds on it, which is to be expected, but it looks like it's been limed, so it should be pretty good. And it should be a good field for potatoes. There's enough room at the end here to be able to turn around just about. So, and easy to do the headland at this end. So I think that'll work quite well. And back down to the yard. The other thing that would be nice is just to, while we've got the money, to buy another 6 piglets, and then our acquisition of piglets will be complete. So we might do that just to finish up the episode. From now on, all our piglet breeding will be self-sustaining to fill up that yard, so there should be no further financial expense for the pigs. It's all show me the money. Well, in a few months anyway. Because remember, the pig food's actually being made as a byproduct of our premium potato production. We're not manufacturing it directly, so the actual pig feed, if it continues to be enough, is not costing us anything, at least at the moment. We can make proper pig food, well, we can specifically make pig food at an expense with some ingredients, but so far we haven't had to do that. So let's get some more black pied piglets. Select 2. We'll buy 2 of those. Blake's been inspecting my tractor for a while. Okay. There's the last 2 for today. We'll pop them in the yard. Or in the pen, I guess. The pig pen. And if we just have a look at where we stand with our pigs before we close out. So we've now got 30 and our yard holds 98. So 1 month old, 9 months old and about to reproduce. So next month we'll get our own piglets from this lot, and 2 months, 3 months and the brand new ones. And a couple of months after that, the new pigs, so from 6 months old, they can reproduce themselves. So we'll only have a couple of months where there's no reproduction. And then we'll be away, and you can see the prices are starting to get up close to what we paid originally. So we only need to recover 25,000 from the pigs. We've got 30 pigs there, so once they get up around the $1,000 each, we'll be well and truly in profit territory. But for now, light's fading, and casting some longish shadows, still being in winter. So we've picked up another field. We've now got a field that we'll put our potatoes in and one that we'll put our grass in, and it's feeling like we're starting to gather some good positive momentum. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you're enjoying it. I certainly am, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.